are now going to do the open mic, and I'm going to start that with one poem. And so I forgot to introduce myself. I'm Kathleen Decker. I'm the Eastern Region Vice President of PSV at the moment. That said, I'm going to read my poem now, and it's Thanksgiving with a dash. Thanks, Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving 2020. 4 generations round the table, grandchildren fidgeting and fussing, giggling and clowning, parents, grandparents, and great-grands, smiling, proud, and thankful for the next generation, exhausted by their energy, truth be told. The only thing different about this Thanksgiving is that no one asks, please pass the turkey. Zoom Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving 2021. Fragments of family arrive, greeted by a wreath on the door, a wreath on the table, and wreaths of smiles on the faces of 5 of 8 children, bringing 3 of 7 grandchildren. Great-grandparents hug those they've not seen since 2019. Unmasked, unabashed joy. There are COVID casualties still. A grandchild brought home illness from preschool, in a quarantine with her whole family. Zoom and FaceTime still unite those in the room with those in quarantine, giving thanks for bounty, turkey, yams, and that all that survived this pandemic. Thank you. Now I'm going to do a brief introduction of Ed because he is such a fixture. And the other poets, if you want to say a sentence or two about yourself when you come up, that'd be great. Ed Lull is a past executive director and former past president of the Poetry Society of Virginia, I think at least 4 terms. He's published a number of books, which are not necessarily poetry, as well as poetry chapbooks, and a manual on writing poetry in various poetic forms, which is really cool. Buy it on Amazon. He has contributed poetry leadership in Eastern Virginia for many years, and he is the editor of the forthcoming Centennial Anthology for the Centennial of PSV in 2023.
And it's really great to be a fixture. The day for giving thanks. On the 8th day of September 1565, the Mass of Thanksgiving was celebrated in St. Augustine, following the safe arrival of 600 Spanish settlers. On the 4th of December 1619, 38 English settlers observed the day of Thanksgiving to God upon their safe arrival at Berkeley 100, as provided for in the group's charter. In the autumn of 1621, English settlers and Native Americans celebrated a bountiful harvest and mutual friendship, the 3-day feast of Thanksgiving in Plymouth, Massachusetts. Slowly through history, the practice grew, with individual states proclaiming holiday observance. Thanksgiving was instituted as a national holiday, initially through proclamations and finally by statute. Regardless of where your allegiance to Thanksgiving's origin lies, whether for surviving a treacherous voyage or for producing ample food for the winter, giving thanks to God was its basis. The holiday's journey through the years has, sadly, evolved into a more secular theme. With all that we have to be thankful for, how can we casually demean this joyful day of thanks by calling it Turkey Day? And this one's looking more toward the future. The world to be, strolling on this chill November morn, cloudless sky, multi-hued leaves please my eyes and elevate my spirit. Schoolyard sounds attract me, draw me to their source. Spirited children scurry across the ground. Kickball, hopscotch, dodgeball, tag, white, black, brown, yellow, everyone involved in this symphony of youth. Cacophony becomes melody, discord becomes harmony. The beauty and simplicity of the scene stun me. It looks so easy, seems so natural. What could turn this concert into dissonance? They do not see differences. They have a love of life. Their love is all inclusive. This is not the world that is. Might it be a rehearsal for the world to be? We pray. Thank you.
And, some fixtures are good, they're not all boring. And you're not boring. Okay, so, Janice Hoffman, is a Williamsburgian, and so she's not coming from very far. And we're delighted to have her with us today. And she's going to read at least one poem from a former book, and then she's got an upcoming. Go there.
It's so nice to see eyeballs, more than just eyeballs, complete faces. For the last year and a half or nearly 2 years, we've seen masks and eyeballs. And I get to see complete faces. I love it. When Kathleen said a theme of Thanksgiving, the poem that came to mind, first of all, was in my chapbook, Azaleas in October. Most of you know that 10 years ago, we lost our 35-year-old son to suicide, and that anniversary was last month. And so this year, I had published a collection of poems from that time period. But one thing that was very important for me as that process went on was to have a heart of thanksgiving. I'm missing these pictures all up. To have a heart of thanksgiving. It's hard initially, but it's possible, and it makes all the difference. So this one is called Azaleas in October. First of all, the reference when it says when they left is when the 2 police officers and chaplain came to our home. When they left, I looked out the window and saw our azalea bush was again in full bloom, and this line burned in my mind. The year our son died, our azaleas bloomed again in October. I stared and memorized the irony. I know our azaleas will bloom again in the spring, but I will remember October. For the rest of my life, I will remember October. And each October, when others celebrate 1492 and discoveries, I will mourn your precise decision, your violent departure, that you did it your way. But now I must celebrate you like we do all the others who leave us behind. So I pray for redemption, to be thankful in the midst of mourning. Your ashes rest on a Virginia bookshelf, but your eyes give sight to 2 strangers. Your bones give healing, your tendons grant strength, and your skin saves burn victims. I look to the skies and am thankful for the color blue, your favorite. I'm on a pilgrimage to find appreciation. Thankful for your love, thankful for your last texts, thankful for azaleas in October. And then that event, of course, changed my life forever, but it does not define me. Okay, it is a major part of my life, but it's not all of me. The other part includes these little fairies who live in my head. And it's 4 fairy friends. 2 years ago, the first Little Fairy Friends book came out. And then later, maybe it was last year, my husband translated it into Spanish. We had a bilingual version. But I have these little multicultural characters, and they're real to me. They live in my little head. But anyhow, this was fun. I wanted to do one for Christmas. Even though they're multicultural, it is a traditional Christmas book. So I'm just going to read part of it because it's a picture book as well. So it's just a poem. So you really need to see it. So I'm just going to read part of it. But it's fun. I know I might have mentioned to you before. One of I'm teacher Thomas Nelson. One of our librarians is a middle-aged Black man, and when he first saw this, I donated some books to the library at school. And when he saw it, he said, "I've never seen a Black fairy. I feel so included." And so he bought one for his granddaughter. So that was sweet. That's what I want. That's what I've gotten. I want to give joy to little children. And I've gotten some really nice feedback from the first one. I hope this one does too. The 4 fairy friends want to show you some ways they celebrate Christmas, their special day. Come on, calls Poppy with her little tree. Grab lights and balls and hang them with me. Downy helps put a star on top, and she flies right up with a skip and a hard to do one-handed. Then Nutmeg jumps in with stockings to place. She dances around with a smile on her face. "Are you hungry yet?" asked their friend Rose. "Can you smell sweet treats with your little nose?" She serves them cookies, all red and green. These 4 friends share a wonderful scene. A tree, a dance, carols, cookies, and more. Everything looks great from ceiling to floor. And one more thing, the point of it all, a place for the baby in the straw stall. "Happy birthday, Jesus," your 4 friends say. "Merry Christmas to all, and have a great day." And then there's a little activity book in the back that has where the children can make their own little decorations and decorate one of the fairies' rooms. Anyhow, it was fun. It's so good to see you all.
Thank you so much, Janice.
Thank you.
She's, her poetry spans the breadth of tragedy and the fairy stories of which she has